Hello, Karen M. It's good to see ya. Midnight Rider. SLC News Now. None of your business. Jonas. Yes, it is good to be seen. If everybody can hear me okay, give me a 1 in the chat, please. I don't know how long this stream will last. Jody Who. So I tried to go live a minute ago and the stream loaded up, and then all of a sudden I just watched everybody drop off and it disappeared. So I'm in an area where the bandwidth is not that good. So again, I don't know how long this is going to last. So we'll try to keep it quick. Clyde Johnson, thank you so much for coming in. Give me a half second here. I want to all right, Jonas, I've given you some moderating powers there. All right, guys, well, let's get down to the brass tacks. Long and short, I was arrested today. I was not filming. I was actually on my way to Princess OPD. Hey, thank you so much for joining in there. Anyway, so I was on my way to see my wife and for her lunch, and while I was there, hey, good to see you, Hennessy. Anyway, while I was on my way to see my wife for lunch, I stopped at the grocery store near her work, and I seen a Provo police officer across the way, and I seen him pull into the 7-Eleven. I thought, I wonder what he's up to. And so I drove across the parking lot over kind of by where he was. I parked. And I was just sitting there watching to see if he was going to go in or if he was actually over there dealing with somebody or something. And while I was putting together my phone and getting it put on the new thank you. Anyway, when I was getting it put on a gimbal that I was just gifted, I heard in my ear, across my scanner, I heard somebody run my name, ran my driver's license number. I hadn't given anybody my driver's license number, but they ran it across the airwaves, and I get looking around and I could see that there was a cop behind me. And so I got my camera put together and I jumped out. And as soon as I got out, Officer Carmichael from the Provo Police Department come running up on me, told me I had a warrant for my arrest, and him and his buddies commenced to arrest me. I was absolutely shocked about a warrant. I had just been filming some police in American Fork a little over 24 hours before that, and there was no warrants at that time. On the way to the jail, I asked Carmichael what the warrant was actually for, and he told me it was for pedestrian in the roadway. Well, the police officers I had been filming the day before had, now I'm just surmising here, I don't know. I know that there was no warrant when I dealt with them. And then as of yesterday, there was a warrant from a ticket that the American Fork Police Department had issued me. Um, I'm absolutely convinced that that these are all retaliatory. The fact that Carmichael ran my driver's license number um, without me ever giving it to him. I have never give that man my driver's license number. So I'm really curious on how he got that information, and why was he running it when I wasn't committing any crimes. I wasn't doing nothing. I was literally sitting in a parking lot. On the way to the jail, he told me that the reason he ran the plates for the truck, which don't come back to my name, by the way, absolutely spot check news. Um, anyway, the truck doesn't even come back to my name. So him saying he ran the truck, the plates on the truck, and then and that's how he got my involvement, as he says it. Um, my name's not on that truck. He ran my driver's license. He pulled up this warrant that out of the blue has appeared, and he arrested me. When I got to the jail, um, the sheriff, so in Utah County, it is the sheriff department that runs the jail, and so the sheriffs also double as jailers while they're there. And long and short, the sheriffs were rather amused that, and I'm quoting here, that Provo Police Department would be so petty as to fill up their jail with somebody for a pedestrian in the roadway ticket. Um, they couldn't understand why I had been arrested for that. Um, there is truly only one answer, and that is that this is a retaliatory actions by these police officers, because I've been in the area and I've been filming pretty heavily lately. Um, I've not released all the videos I've got. Um, Going through editing, trying to create a good presentation for my subscribers, um, as well as keeping the integrity of the videos. I'm new to all this. I'm techno illiterate. So the editing and learning how to do I'm learning as we go. Utah Defender. I'm really so I've dealt with Utah all my life, and I know how petty and how creepy these law enforcement agencies can be. And I've got to tell you, this one's new. I've um, never seen it happen in the way it did. So, with that being said, we need to move into the next stages of what's going to happen with Provo. Um, I will be going down. I will be filing some complaints. Same thing with American Fork. Um, we'll be putting that on video. I don't know if I'll do it live or if I'll do it static. I appreciate that, Utah Defender. Uh, so yeah, I got the next step is the complaint process with both sides. Thanks, Innocent. Um, with both American Fork and Utah County. Um, I have a bunch of evidence of Carmichael interfering with my First Amendment rights to record uninterrupted and free and exercise my right to free press. Um, I have one video where the entire time I'm trying to report the story of this homeless man being harassed by Provo police, Carmichael spent the entire time, probably about 20 minutes, um, repeating my full name, first, last, middle initial, the whole 9 yards, over and over again across the loudspeaker of his car. Um, that's called doxing. Here, not very long ago, Utah introduced a bill, which is doxing and swatting. In one of my previous videos, I actually posted that bill up there so people could see what it's talking about. And the long and short is that doing that stuff is absolutely illegal. And for them to do that and to try to interfere with our right to document their actions and what have you is a clear violation of the First Amendment. And since Irizarry versus Yahia, and I'm horrible at pronouncing them names, but it's Irizarry v. Yahia. Anyway, that ruling that came down in the 10th Circuit Court made it to where when these police officers do the actions like Carmichael has done, and like that officer the other day over in American Fork was trying to do by trying to cite me with disorderly conduct for filming, it means that they can't even ask for qualified immunity. It is clearly established law that we have a right to document them. And for them to take sorry, I was reading what Utah Defender was saying there. Yes, absolutely. I plan on doing that. I also have a feeling I may include some of the United Nations Declaration on Human Rights as well as the United States Declaration on Human Rights. A lot of them things people tend to neglect when they're filing complaints and lawsuits and stuff. And I plan on putting all of that in there. Among the brainwashed. Hey, thanks for joining us. There's a lot of work in front of me. I'm going to need a lot of help from everybody. I appreciate everybody's criticism. I am doing everything I can to change my vernacular so that I can do a whole lot of less editing of my videos to make sure that they are YouTube friendly. Midnight Rider 2020, I am so glad you asked me that, because that is the whole point of me going live right now. I want everybody out there watching to know that I went live when I realized that these cops were going to try to arrest me, because nobody in my family knew where I was at the time. I was on my way to see my wife. Nobody knew anything. They didn't know where the vehicle was or anything. So I went live just to try to get some type of a message out there. And I got to the jail and I got a couple of phone numbers and I made a couple of phone calls. And the very first phone call I made, I was informed that Utah Cop Watch was on his way to the jail. And so I reached out to him to find out, what was going on. And he told me that he was about 3/4 of the way to the jail at that point. He asked me what the bail was. I told him what the bail was. He didn't have enough money on him, so he turned around and went back to his house. And he grabbed a little bit more cash, and Utah Cop Watch came down and bailed me out. If any of you folks feel like making donations, Utah Cop Watch did that out of his own pocket, and I have nothing but love and appreciation for him. So please, go visit his channel, leave a super thanks or something for him. I can't thank him enough. That being said, I do have my monetization on. I have super chats and super thanks activated, I think. I don't know. I'm trying. Utah Cop Watch wanted me to tell everybody that he was grateful for the opportunity to come down and help me out. He would be chatting with us right now, but he has had a major headache since earlier, and so he went to lay down. Sorry, I'm reading what Utah Defender was saying. Utah Defender, I definitely want to get with you and go through some stuff. Utah Cop Watch has talked you up quite a bit, and I think that we can rub heads, and I think that we can help the community out greatly by filing paperwork in the proper manner. So I definitely want to get with you, get with Utah Cop Watch, get my number, and we'll get together, okay? Utah Cop Watch was amazing, like I said, without hesitation. He was already on his way down there to help me out as soon as he seen that there was something going on. I want to thank SLC News Now. It was SLC News Now that reached out and got a hold of Utah Cop Watch as soon as he seen that I was getting arrested. I want to thank Heather Holt. She was spreading the word as well. Karen M. I really want to thank all of you. For those of you who are mods, I do have a Cash App account. It is Standing Tall 710, same as my YouTube channel. If anybody wants to donate directly to me to help out with what's coming forward, the easiest way to avoid YouTube getting their percentage would be to go through the Cash App. Again, that's Cash App Standing Tall 710. Aside from that, what does stubbed mean? That's funny. Subbed. Utah Defender, what she's saying is that she has subbed to your channel. Thank you, Heather Holt. That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. That being said, does anybody have any questions? I don't want to run this too long. I just kind of wanted to give everybody an update on what's going on. Utah Defender, I'm kind of with you on that. I'm very techno illiterate. I'm learning how to do this stuff as we go. I think we can all learn together, because as this thing grows and as this movement grows, as people become more and more aware of exactly what it is their rights are, exactly what it is their duty in our social contract with our government employees, okay? Because we do have duties in that contract, because we do have a contract with our government. And okay, so the warrant itself was for, get this, pedestrian in the roadway. It was a warrant for a ticket for pedestrian in the roadway. Oh, sorry. Utah Defender, we'll get together on that later, okay? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to cover that camera. I forget it's there. Right on. Yeah, for real. They issued it. They backdoor channels, however they did it. The only thing that the only crime, quote unquote, and it wasn't a crime. It's a retaliatory action based on the fact I was filming a accident scene, and I've not released that video. I've released a couple of shorts on it. I've not released it because they did issue me a ticket for pedestrian in the roadway, and so I've kept that video evidence. How do you say it? Unlisted on my channel. Okay, and I've done that because they issued a ticket, and when I go to court, I'm going to slam them with it. My video evidence shows that I do not fit into any of the elements of this ticket. Okay. I was under the understanding that the prosecution had declined to prosecute because I was told that I would get some kind of a court date on that ticket by November. December rolled around and I had heard nothing. January rolls around, I had heard nothing. Or, excuse me, December had rolled around, I had heard nothing. January rolls around, I'm literally dealing with the police and they can't find any wants or warrants on me because I'm not out there doing anything unlawful. All of a sudden, out of the blue, after I have that confrontation with them a little over 24 hours ago, I get this warrant for this pedestrian in a roadway ticket. Everything about it is fishy to me. It again, I've dealt with the court systems here in Utah for a lot of years, and I know how they work, and I've never seen it like this. So, absolutely. Wow, thank you. Thank you, Utah Defender. I appreciate that. That's going to help a lot. You have rights, cops have duties. Sorry, there we go. There's a few of you I wanted to give wrenches, you know. So, you know what, Heather? The fact that you mentioned that brings up something that's kind of important, and I didn't catch it earlier when I got arrested. No, he printed that warrant up on his computer in his cruiser. There was no wet ink signature on that warrant. I don't even know if I looked to see if there was a judge's signature. To be perfectly honest with you, I was too happy over the fact that they had arrested me over a pedestrian in a roadway ticket that doesn't even apply. I know that sounds silly to say that I was happy I was arrested, because I wasn't happy to be arrested. I was happy that the reason for the arrest was what it was. I'll have to look at it for sure, Heather, but I'm pretty sure that he printed that, and I don't think there was an electronic signature. Yeah, no, so I think that that's kind of what they may have tried to do, Utah Defender, is, do the whole silent ticket thing, file it through when they're least expecting it, you know. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I really don't know how that, because, like I said, I call them regularly. I want to know, I want to make sure that they're not out there trying to get me for something stupid, you know. So I call the courts regularly anywhere where I have police involvement. Um, it's absolutely true, Heather. In Utah, I believe that they do have a 2 year statute of limitations on citations of that nature. So I think they have to file within 2 years. And the laws here in Utah have recently changed greatly in that we have what's now called the clean slate law. Okay, when medical marijuana came into effect here in Utah, one of the things that was pushed, and a lot of people didn't know that it was being pushed, was the fact that there's a lot of people who have medical conditions that qualify for the medical cannabis programs, and they have past records. And so when Utah passed the medical marijuana program and allowed that to come into being here, they also introduced a bill which was called the Clean Slate Act, and that was passed and it went into effect this year. And what the Clean Slate Act basically does is anybody who has a say a past warrant for a misdemeanor offense, driving, traffic infractions, and the like. Anybody who has warrants and stuff like that, they get rid of the warrants. Most of them old citations like that, they just get rid of them and write them off. They dismiss them. And the reason for that is because of the timeliness factor involved in, we all have a right to a speedy and fair trial. And when the speedy disappears, things get muddled up. So also along with that Clean Slate Act meant that people who had convictions for cannabis and the like in their history, as long as those convictions weren't related to selling, if they was more along the lines of possession, then most of those could be dropped off. No, that's absolutely correct. Okay, I had somebody ask me, you know, if I've been studying the law as long as I have, why I've never become a barred attorney. First off, I don't want to register with the British Accreditation Registry. I don't want to give up my constitutionally guaranteed God-given rights. Okay, Constitution doesn't give us our rights. Creator, however you view the creator, that's where you get your rights from. Okay, all that piece of paper does, that's just the contract. That's the contract between you, we the people, and our government. Yes, you're absolutely correct. You have rights, cops have duties. California is probably as close to a communist country as I've ever seen. Yes, that's correct. It is just, so the first 10 amendments of the Bill of Rights, you know, the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, those were only to give you an idea of what rights you have. Those enumerated rights that they talk about. Those were the ones that was so important. They had to be mentioned, okay? But everybody forgets the 10th Amendment, okay? The 10th Amendment. That says that all the rights that's not already listed, okay, is reserved to the people. All them rights that are not listed are reserved for the people. I love every one of you. I don't want to keep this going too long. I have a feeling like I'm just kind of rambling. Try and go back through the question or the chat here. Anyway, folks, it's been about a half hour. Long and short, this has been a kind of a crazy day. I did not expect to see that kind of retaliation, especially from the particular officer. I actually liked Carmichael. I thought he did really good. Jordan, hey. Quick recap, I got arrested for a warrant for a pedestrian in a roadway ticket. This warrant was issued in the dark. You know what I mean? It was issued in the dark. A little over 24 hours before I was I did not expect to get arrested at all. I've been doing really I've been making a lot of efforts to not put myself into a situation where I would get arrested. The fact that happened today the way it did, I'm just very grateful for Utah Cop Watch, for Innocent Auditor, for SLC News Now, for Utah Defender, for You Have Rights, Cops Have Duties, for Karen M, Princess OPD, Clyde Johnson, for all of you guys. You know, Jordan Law. Jordan, I was arrested in Provo, Utah. So, one thing about Utah's Constitution, okay, between the drive-off car and the police, I'm not sure on that one. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Totally made me lose my thought, though. The Utah State Constitution. The Utah State Constitution is even more powerfully worded than the United States Constitution when it talks about like religious matters of conscience, okay? When it talks about your right to freedom of speech and your right to redress your grievances of your government. The Utah Constitution is even more strongly worded than the United States Constitution. Yep, right there, exactly. I'm going to actually read it out loud there. The preamble. Grateful to Almighty God for life and liberty, we, the people of Utah, in order to secure and perpetuate the principles of a free government, do ordain and establish this Constitution. There's a lot in the Utah Constitution that a lot of people don't know. It's like a cop's wife. Everybody gets a turn. Sorry. Folks, it is very late for me. 4 o'clock comes awful early. I absolutely appreciate each and every one of you. I absolutely appreciate Utah Cop Watch. The fact that he was there for me as quick as he was. I appreciate that Innocent Auditor was reaching out as soon as he could. Each and every one of you. That's absolutely true. Policing for profit is the financial support for and feeds the Utah criminal injustice industrial system. Mad love, folks. We're going to sign off for now. And we're going to hope to catch you guys out there. I'm going to be out watching the cops every chance I got. And now that I know I don't have any more warrants, guess where I'm going to be? I love y'all. This has been Standing Tall 710, coming at you live from behind the Wasatch Curtain. Y'all come back now, you hear?